Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dan Greenberg. I'm a proud graduate of Bishop McDevitt High School from the great class of 1988. It is my pleasure to welcome all of you to the 2025 Bishop McDevitt Hall of Fame induction ceremony.
Our second Athletic Hall of Fame honoree is Dave Murphy, who was a member of the first graduating class at Bishop McDevitt High School in 1961. Dave originally attended Carl Doherty until McDevitt was officially opened during his sophomore year, and then he transferred to Worrell Avenue and became a Lancer for life. In addition to being a member of the first class to graduate from McDevitt, Dave is also the first three-sport varsity letterman in school history, earning his varsity letters in football, basketball, and track and field. At Doherty, he was a member of the varsity baseball team as a freshman. However, Bishop McDevitt did not have a baseball team until 1972, so Dave gave track and field a try. The transition from baseball to track and field easily worked out as Dave excelled and earned multiple All-Catholic honors. He achieved a remarkable time of 10.0 seconds in the 100-yard dash, which remained a school record for more than 15 years. Dave was a part of the Suburban Catholic League championship team in 1961, which was one of the first sports championships in school history, where he came in first place in the 220 at the track championship held in Reading. Dave was also a star halfback for the football team when it played in the Suburban Catholic League, and was also a member of the first basketball team in school history in 1960. At his graduation in 1961, Dave was awarded the gold medal for athletics for all Bishop McDevitt student athletes. For his efforts and accomplishments, Dave has also been inducted in both the Bishop McDevitt Football and Track and Field Hall of Fames. Following his graduation from McDevitt, Dave attended LaSalle University and then worked in the insurance industry, where he served as a vice president for State Farm, where he worked for over 35 years. He's the proud father of two beautiful and dedicated daughters, who are both teachers, and the proud grandfather of two grandchildren. Dave also gave back to his alma mater by serving as assistant track coach under the legendary Jim Gibbons from 1967 through 1969, and along with Phil Keeley, Dave was instrumental in starting and supporting the Bishop McDevitt Track and Field Alumni Association. Please join me in honoring and welcome Dave Murphy, Bishop McDevitt Class of 1961, to the McDevitt High School Athletic Hall of Fame.
I have to make a few corrections, Pete. They're doing a fact check down on my... I have two children, a son and a daughter. And I was not a vice president, but I spent a few years with the State Farm Insurance and climbed the corporate ladder a little bit. But I want to thank the Friends of McDevitt for this honor, and I think it's really terrific that they keep the spirit alive at McDevitt. This is wonderful. I was surprised to see this many people turn out for this kind of event. As Pete said, I was in a class of 61. Class of 61 actually started at Cardinal Doherty. I was a freshman at Cardinal Doherty, and played some sports there. I was very fortunate to be involved with a championship baseball team, and made the varsity baseball team in 1958, I guess that was. And around the same time that I found out that that I was playing on the baseball team, I found out my parish was going to be sent to Bishop McDevitt, and I said, I was rather concerned. I really didn't want to go. Like a lot of guys in my class, we didn't know anything about McDevitt, where it was, what's going on. But as it turned out, the transition was made fairly easily. I had a Latin teacher down at Cardinal Doherty, Father Long, Monsignor Longlater. Most of you may have had him as the magister, but Father Long was a mentor to me and counseled me, and he told me, David, don't worry, it's going to be fine. There's going to be more opportunity for you. And he made the transition along with us. It was I thought it was an easy transition, but the first day at McDevitt was exciting. In the middle, it was in December, and December of my sophomore year. I remember pulling up with a group of boys in a car in the parking lot, and as we got out of the car, and several teachers were there, and they had clipboards, and we went over to the teacher or the priest, whoever had the clipboard, and we he asked us what our name was, and told us what room our homeroom was in, and he pointed to a tractor trailer that was over in the corner, and he says, "We want you all to go over and pick up a desk. It's in the tractor trailer." Which we did, and we carried the desks into the school. That's how the school got all their new desks. It was rather interesting. In our sophomore year, there were not many sports. We did some running in the corridors and whatnot, but and in the summer we started with the football, and we practiced in a field that was close to McDevitt, down on 611. I don't think it's there anymore, but the junior year we had a full schedule for all three sports. And I was fortunate to make the team on all three sports. It was a tough year in football. We didn't have any seniors, and we were playing some pretty aggressive football teams. The senior year was much better. I think we had a 500 schedule. Highlight of that year was we beat Reading Catholic by 1 point, and Reading Catholic was undefeated for 2 years. So the program was just getting underway at that point. We played some tough teams too during that year. We played St. Joe's, and in basketball we played Salesianum. Father Skelly, who was our athletic director then, he built a pretty good schedule and built 3 good programs in those 3 sports, and they were the basis, the very early basis of a very successful program at McDevitt as it went on. As a alumni coming back and seeing some of the teams that Mike makes mention to. By the way, Mike is a president of Sandy Run while I was there, and I've been a member there for 20 or 30 years, so it's kind of nice to have a club member getting an award with me. And anyway, as an aside, I do have a few people that I want to thank. Unfortunately, all of the teachers and all of the coaches, are no longer with us. But that doesn't mean we can't mention their names. And I mentioned Father Skelly, who ran a terrific program, and Monsignor Long, and most of these priests. If I say Father, I apologize, because I think all of them were Monsignors by the time we went out. But I want to thank my father. And from the time I was 5 or 6 years old, I had a baseball in my hand and was standing in a playpen. And he was a pretty good athlete. He played minor league ball for the St. Louis Cardinals down in the Carolina League during the Depression. So I was playing baseball, organized baseball, with him coaching from the time I was 7 or 8 years old. And that teaching and that he gave me over those years certainly helped me make the transition into high school sports and into college sports. He taught me, how to win, how to behave and win with humility. More importantly, he taught me you're going to lose. There are going to be people that are faster, stronger, and better than you. And you have to learn how to put up with disappointment in your life. And these lessons helped me greatly later in life when you're trying to raise a family and you're organizing meetings and managing a lot of people in a corporation. You don't realize it until much later in your life that these lessons that you learned early on are things that you're going to need in order to successfully compete in life later. So I guess the other thing I wanted to bring home was the academics at McDevitt. As Pete indicated, I went on to LaSalle, and I was fortunate. The coach at McDevitt, Phil Keeley, was instrumental in me obtaining the full scholarship at LaSalle. And the only people that I know that were happier than me were my mother and father. Anyway, where was I? There were 8 full scholarships in track. In 1964, it was 100 years for LaSalle College, LaSalle University now. So they had more scholarships to give out, and I accepted the scholarship, and there were 8 of us there. However, at the end of freshman year, only 2 of us were eligible to compete. The rest were not eligible because of academics. And it wasn't until many years later that I realized the preparation that the McDevitt teachers had given us so that we could succeed in an atmosphere like LaSalle College, and which was difficult for some, but we found it rather, I at least found it very, very easily. So for Monsignor Teller and Monsignor Burgoyne and Monsignor Long, I think he was a Monsignor, my right, Father? And I owe a debt of gratitude for the education that I received, and I owe it to those coaches too. Now, where's Dan? I'm trying to keep this under 5 minutes, so I think I'll cut it off. But I think Father Long was right when he said, David, you're going to be much better off at Bishop McDevitt than Cardinal Doherty with its 6,000 students, and he was right.